Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods this morning. Okay, it is Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles in Dallas Christmas Eve week, where any Eagles win or any Dallas Cowboys loss clinches home field advantage throughout for the Eagles, and they win the division. Yeah, that was a tough loss to take yesterday. Much like the Green Bay Packers game. I'm going to do something a little bit different this morning because I have to agree with Get Up This Morning. I have to agree with Get Up This Morning with just about everything they had to say about the Cowboys and that game. I don't know if the Cowboys the last 2 weeks have been looking forward to the Eagles game on Christmas Eve, if they've believed the hype that they're this great team or what. But last week we got lucky to get the victory against the Texans. And this week we lost to a Jacksonville Jaguar team on the road that has been playing better. Whatever it is, it's not good. Because this is beginning to feel like last year where the Cowboys started out really good and the things that they were doing good, they weren't the last half of the year. And I've got some thoughts on things that are going on in my mind, things that have changed that are, I think, Kellen Moore-esque, but that loss yesterday goes all the way around. If your only thought on that whole game is that it was just Dak Prescott, then you might as well not even watch this because you literally just hate Dak Prescott. If you literally say that the interception, pick six, was Dak Prescott's fault, then there's no point in you listening to my argument. You are just flat out biased. That pick was purely on Noah Brown, and I feel bad for Noah Brown. I know Noah Brown feels like shit. But in all reality, it shouldn't have had to come down to that. I still go back to understanding the clock, understanding managing the game. It was still third down. Jacksonville has a timeout. You're just north of the 2-minute warning. It's third down. You need to make them burn the timeout. Have Dak Prescott run around in the backfield. Have him run around. Burn some clock. Take the sack. Make him take the timeout. They do that, they got to win. Not a pretty win, but they got to win. They didn't do that. Not only did they decide we're going to go down the field, why didn't you go to your best wide receiver? Why didn't you at least say, I'm going to put CD Lamb on this instead of Noah Brown? You're going for a very low percentage pass. Very low percentage pass. And you're not putting your best receiver there. You know, in basketball, the game's on the line. Michael Jordan get the ball. It wasn't Scottie Pippen. It's Michael Jordan. I don't understand some of these things that we do. I guess they're Dallas Cowboys doing what Dallas Cowboys do. Our defense, where we were on pace for 70 sacks, can't get to the quarterback anymore. I looked at it and thought that this team was a team that if you have a lead, you could turn the dogs loose. It turned into puppies. Micah Parsons the last few weeks, I'm hoping he's just kind of nicked up and can get better, but he hasn't been anything close to what I touted as LT. Thibodeau last night looked kind of like LT-esque, but lately Micah Parsons hasn't. Yeah, there's still time. There's things that we have to work on. You know, the first interception I believe Dak had was guy hits his hand, because that's the pass blocking issues that we're having right now. Tyron Smith will get better at right tackle as time goes on, but our offensive line is not great. Our wide receiver core. Do you think Michael Gallup right now is a starter on most teams right now? Do you think Noah Brown is a starter on most teams right now? You got CD who's doing great things. But I tell you what, we'll come back to all that. I want to, this is therapeutic for me, is because I've already listened to this once this morning. But this is like pulling the Band-Aid off, okay? Just rip that shit off. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's go ahead and actually have somebody from outside tell us what happened.
Plays you can come up with, and that, like, you're trying to get the win. I get it. So what he says is accurate. But why the hell would you go to that play?
Right.
And all goes to, like, you know the odds of hitting one of those deep passes?
I think 10%.
Yeah, 10% in that situation. It wasn't called for. That's a first down call. That's not a third down game on the line call. And it was just a horrendous decision. But you know what? Typical Dallas decision.
I would call that if I was Cincinnati. I would not call that if I was the Dallas Cowboys.
But Cincinnati have number
Jamar
one,
Chase.
Right? Yeah. I think there's two options in that situation for that 3rd and 10 call. Number one, since Jacksonville has one timeout, you just call a run. We're not going to
make them use it.
Make them use it. The second thing is this. Call a pass play. I don't mind the Cowboys calling a pass play. I mind the fact that they literally ran 3 guys down the field. If you want to call a pass play, let's give the quarterback a couple different options. And what you tell him is this. Hey, if you don't love it, eat it. Eat it. Don't throw it away.
Take the sack.
Eat it. Take a sack. Make a 3 or 4 yard loss. Then it forces Dallas's defense, or excuse me, Jacksonville, to use their final timeout. I hate the fact that that was the play that they went to. I also hate the fact that they didn't throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb. Yep. I understand Noah Brown had made some plays. CeeDee Lamb is by far the one guy that's making plays on the perimeter.
Here's the point. They lost that game a lot of different ways. You can focus on one play, and that seems, we all hated the play that they ran there. But at the end of the day, what is the word that we use to describe this Cowboys team this morning?
Soft. That's who it is. Dallas is soft. Simple as that. And what's soft about it? Well, how about their defense? Is this the 85 Bears everybody's telling me about? This team stinks on defense. All right? Now, I love it. Everybody, they're so overrated. We're going to give Micah Parsons the Defensive Player of the Year, treat him like he's Deacon Jones. You're going to Dan Quinn, you say, oh, he's Buddy Ryan. Hell no, he ain't even Rex Ryan. He ain't even Rob Ryan. So to me, it's like this team is absolutely soft. They gave up 200 rushing yards to Jacksonville. All right? They gave up over 500 yards in this game, 40 points to Jacksonville. By the way, this is the same team that Micah Parsons, you play Jacksonville. You don't play Philly until this week coming up. And by the way, the game means nothing because you couldn't get the job done. Here's how great this pass rush is for Dallas. All right. The last 2 games against 2 of the worst offensive lines in the league, they got 1 sack and 72 dropbacks. Is this the 85 Bears? I don't think so. You're soft as Sharman right here, and that's how this team played.
I mean, I think Sharman gets a bad rap.
The soft. That stuff is soft.
To be honest with you. I mean, when you look at this game, the bigger problem for the Dallas Cowboys is you do need a corner. And I have to apologize to Dan. Dan mentioned the Anthony Brown injury being a big deal, but I knew they had Deron Bland, who would work the outside in regular and Okie situations. And then they bring in Kelvin Joseph and sub, and he got absolutely abused. 69 yards on 2 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence only goes for about 250. And now the other thing is this. We can't lose doing what we're supposed to do well, right? If we're up on a team, everybody said the way for the Cowboys to win is to get up, rush the passer. Right. They got up. They didn't rush the passer in the way that they were supposed to. You lose the game. Trevor Lawrence absolutely goes crazy in the second half, and he's the best quarterback on the field. And now, this time, this isn't a Dak Prescott conversation. Dak Prescott did not lose this game. This was an organizational failure, much like the organizational failures we started to see going toward the end of the season last year.
Right.
Mike McCarthy again at the podium explaining away the mistakes of a team, explaining away being undisciplined. The Dallas Cowboys, and I'm going to say it, they started feeling themselves, right? The Dallas Cowboys got to a point where they were like, man, Greeny's right. We are really good. We are going to go to the Super Bowl. Did you see the FBI? FBI got us number one. Caesars putting all the money on us. Now, we're not focusing on the little things, which they were when Cooper Rush was playing, because everybody had to be right.
Right.
Now we feel we could just go out there. We got Dak. We got Tony, we got Zeke, we got Micah, we're going to win. That's not going to work. So if this team doesn't become more disciplined, if they don't forget that they got a freaking star on their helmet that hasn't mattered the last 30 years, then they're going to be home week 1.
That's well said. I think for me, RC and Rex, it's this. Like, the team that's playing better and the team that's quarterback is playing better won the football game. There's no question about it. And I felt Jacksonville was going to win this game because if you just watch this team play in comparison, and I told everybody, Cowboys fans, I told y'all, the way that you guys have been playing the past couple weeks, you haven't been playing good football. And that's why you lost to a team that has been playing better football. The quarterback for Jacksonville was the better player yesterday, and he has been for the last month. Here's the reality for you guys, Cowboys fans. Your offensive line got whooped at the line of scrimmage. CeeDee's the only one on the outside that's making plays, and the quarterback continues to give the ball away. I have a question for you guys as defensive guys. I'm not trying to make a hot take here. When was the last time that we watched a Cowboys game and said, oh, Parsons and Diggs were phenomenal? You tell me. I don't want to.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this about Trayvon Diggs. They don't give him chances anymore.
What do you mean?
That's smart.
So last year,
they don't throw his way?
Last year he gave up yardage. So you were looking at him saying, yeah, he might pick it, but I also may be able to get a double move. I may be able to use his eyes against him. He's actually been a better cover corner, making you gain hard yards. And so they go the other way. Now, for Micah Parsons, I think it's a difference when you had the element of surprise when I was going to use you in a certain spot. Now teams can find him. They know where Micah Parsons is going to line up, and they're blocking him that way.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is a freak. I mean, but every single team knows, hey, he's over here. Here's our protection and all that type of stuff. But this team, Diggs is right. People, why would you throw over there? So they've learned not to. But this team, look, Dak Prescott, the great thing is he's going to get blamed for this thing.
The great thing, how's that a great thing?
Guy on that team that's not soft. So to me, he takes accountability. He gives you a chance. But the rest of your team better step up and be the team you're supposed to be.
Well, I'm going to give you a word for the Dallas Cowboys. Wild card. That's what they're going to be. The division fell away from them yesterday.
All right.
Thank you for watching ESPN.
Take that all as will. Dak Prescott haters will only point to Dak Prescott, regardless of the defense giving up 500 points, regardless of Noah Brown's, tip up, regardless of Kellen Joseph's 2 touchdowns that he gave up, regardless of the offensive line not blocking well, regardless of poor clock management and forcing a team's hands. It was a team loss. It was a team loss. And we also need to point the finger back at Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, and Stephen Jones, who made the decision to say, we can't, or at least the reason they told us, we can't pay everybody, so we're better off paying Michael Gallup $12 million and getting rid of Amari Cooper for a 5th-round draft pick. Mind you, they still paid Amari Cooper $6 million in dead money. So, you take the $12 million that you paid Michael Gallup, you take the $6 million in dead money, and you saved $3 million. You saved $3 million. Now, Michael Gallup will be here next year. Michael Gallup will basically be playing next year for his contract because that's the guaranteed money that's left. And you have to look at this year and say the $12 million that you paid for Michael Gallup this year was wasted. You have to look at it and say the $6 million that we paid for Amari Cooper to go away was not worth a 5th-round draft pick. And that, my friends, in lies the problem. Because you've got CD, who's now having a much better season than it started with Dak Prescott. He is becoming a baller, but you can't do it by himself. Not with a quarterback that is under distress because the offensive line is not there together. And these are things that you can point to Dak Prescott and say he's not getting it done. But unfortunately, all those that say draft another quarterback, just go out and get another quarterback, replace Dak, trade Dak. Dak's not the one. Put in Cooper Rush. Hate to tell you, with everything that went on yesterday, it doesn't matter who was there for quarterback. Doesn't matter. There's too many different issues that are going on collectively now as the perfect storm that brought that game down. You don't have a pass rush anymore. We went from a team that was literally getting 5 and 7 sacks a game to getting 1 sack in 2 weeks against 2 of the worser teams in the NFL. That's not getting it done. You're giving up 200 yards on the ground. That's not getting it done. And don't get me started on the lack of 12 personnel. That'll be another video. So, but the good news is we're in the playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
And we have a short week, and we got the Eagles. All right, good people. I've got a lot to do today, and I'm happy about that because hopefully it'll help keep my mind off some of it. I'll have more thoughts soon.
Coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Sports Report.